gosh, I am back live again. Hello, hello. We're giving you a special report, melanated news you can use. We're going to do a blast from the past. I'm your lady, Lila Brown, and I wanted to get this information out there because, for one, I'm sick of talking about it. I really want niggas to shut the fuck up. And yeah, just put bitches in place. That's the goal today. So, thank you to all that tune in. I'm going to take some time to invite people in. It's been a while since I've been able to come in through this platform. I've been using Clubhouse, I've been using Fanbase, I've been using a lot of cool social media apps. So, yeah, this lighting is very interesting. I'm still trying to get all the lighting straight, but it's dark, so bear with us here. And the information, hopefully, we'll be able to keep it light, keep it right, and keep it tight. So, if I can spill over to the news, I really wanted to have my broadcast tomorrow. But yeah, let's see. I'm gonna just tag, share, ping, and yeah, let's get it going. I want to play a little bit of music while I'm sitting here. Um, let's see. What do I even want to play right now? I'm gonna play this one, and maybe we won't go to Facebook jail. Yeah, let's play this one. Cause I feel like this is what Kanye's going through right now. We might talk about Kanye a little bit, so where we are today, it's all over the place. I just feel like this is so fitting for what's going on right now. So tune in. I'm letting take some time for people to tune in. Ping, ping, ping. I just had to play that. I just had to play that real quick because I feel like, always bet on black. Sorry to those people who thought they could get away with, basically, uh, hopping over to the other side. They gonna tell Becky Karen how to do it like a sister real quick. I thought that was really interesting when Tiger was like, I taught Kylie Jenner everything she knows about fashion. And I was like, where'd you get it from? So I don't want to talk too much about Kanye, but it's so funny. It's so funny to watch. I love it. But I wanted to do a special report real quick because I did this on Clubhouse already and I wasn't able to really provide the visuals for y'all to really see the extensiveness of this report. So what we're talking about today, essentially that black men owned slaves as early as the 1830s. I really want to point this out because I'll get to the agenda. Everybody is like, "Oh, you have an agenda. You Why don't you have an agenda? Shouldn't we all have an agenda?" So while I'm doing genealogy, we might talk a little bit about some Cherokee stuff. I want to give y'all some updates, what's going on there. And I just really I think each one teach one, right? This information is not intended to upset anyone. It's not intended to really subdue anybody. But in all honesty, I think it's most important that we understand the true nature of our history because right now critical race theory is being challenged. So share this video, share it, tag, ping people in. If you want to be a guest, hit me in my DM, the back channel. I really want people to know this information so y'all can stop playing victimhood. And I think the only way we're really going to be able to truly progress as one collective people, as Americans, is to get the story straight. Special report. Did you know that more than 3,700, it's so many people to invite. I got so many people to invite. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. It's crazy. So while we want to run around, if you take a listen at how people talk in this day and age, where the men are constantly trying to force the women to subdue, you'll come to realize that a lot of those narratives are coming from somewhere. It's coming from an ancestral spirit. A lot of these former descendants of slave owners, these former slave owners, they still went on to have families. Even the black ones. So somebody's wanted to put it on me and say, "Well, that's the boule." Uh-uh, uh-uh. I don't think so. And even if it was, let's put it in proper context. We've always been business owners. We've had rights, but when we start adding these color codes, I'm not even black. Like when we be see this top right here, that's black. Look at me compared to that. Okay, like we ain't even got our color straight, but you want to call somebody black. So I just thought it was very, very interesting. Um, you know, sorry, this is not as exciting as Kanye. Maybe it's not gonna make you feel as good, but I just really want people to know. I just really want people to know that while we're in the fight for reparations, you might be fighting to pay reparations. Some of y'all are going to end up. You think because you black that you just automatically owe reparations? Oh, you are in for a rude awakening. So I'm sharing the video out. Let me just share the video, and I'm just gonna get into the report. Is this information new to you? Have you heard this information before? I'm gonna try to bring in some comments. If you want to comment, let me know what you think. This information, if it's new to you, good. If not, well, let's reiterate the point. So a lot of people are saying, well, where's your proof? Where's your evidence? Where's your where's your source? And I want to go back. This information that I'm about to present came out in 1924. Someone did a report on 1830 census, okay? So I just wanted to, point that out. First and foremost, this is the work of Carter G. Woodson. So you can argue with me all you want to, but I'm not going to argue with a Carter G. Woodson. So I'm going to share this out. Black men owned slaves in the 1830s. And we might try to do a little bit of melanated news you can use. It's getting close to dinner time on this coast. So, yes, somebody said it's all making sense now. Yes, it's starting to make sense to us now. So I'm just sharing it out. Give me just a few moments here while I, send this out to my networks on Messenger and things like that. And so we're going to get into it. And then we're going to talk a little bit more about the Native Americans and the freedmen and how Cherokee Nation is the only of the 5 civilized tribes to recommend and accept their freedmen. So I literally went from being black overnight to Cherokee. And ain't no such thing as no black Cherokee. That is not how the tribes work. But we have been infiltrated by the Aryan Brotherhood. So, and then maybe I'll just do a very light live later on some of my other feeds. Miss K's in the house. Hey, what's going on, Miss K? Yeah. So a lot of y'all, when I present this information, it's very upsetting. I do get death threats. I take death threats seriously. And most times, it's coming in from black men. So they won't go kill Zimmerman. But, when it comes to black women, they are very violent. So I think as a people, black women are never really allowed to say that we feel threatened. We are not allowed to say that we are afraid. And I'll be the first. I am so scared of black men. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. It's to the point where if I see them walking down the street, I cross. Oh, I am so fucking afraid. I am so, I'm scared when they even trying to flirt. I'm just definitely fucking afraid of them. They scared the living Jesus shit out of me. It's just, if we're on the elevator together, I'm just really scared. I huddle. I clench my purse. Now, when I see them, oh my gosh. Even now when I'm in an Uber, I'm just making sure all the doors, I'm please do not get, I don't want to get carjacked. I think that's a very healthy place to be because we never really get to say as black women that we're afraid. But when we look at the femicide rate, when we look at the homicide rate, the black femicide rate, yeah, I bet those women I ain't scared of black men, and now they 6 feet under, what they call toe tagging. So we're gonna talk a little bit about the fear, the true fear, the authentic fear. I would be afraid if I was in Kanye West's vicinity right now. I'd be so afraid. Oh my gosh, I know them white girls over there. I'm laughing at that, but in all honesty, they were probably horrified. They were probably so horrified. I can only imagine. So black men are extremely scary. Right now, they are terrorizing the streets of Los Angeles. They killing all the rappers. If you're a rapper and you come from out of town, it is highly likely, even you could be like, hey, never been to LA before. I'm in Santa Monica. It's so beautiful. Chances are you might get killed even if you have on a fake chain. Come to find out, PNB Rock was killed by a father-son duo. So it seems like when these beta male super predators are in the home, they're raising another generation of super predators. So I've invited quite a few people, and I wanted to admit that black men scared the living shit out of me. And I think as more people, as I stand up and admit that, especially I was so afraid this summer. I didn't want to go to nobody's pool parties. I didn't want to go to nobody's BET hip hop weekend. I didn't want to go to nobody's nightclub. COVID is over. We free party. I didn't want to go to none of that. It is so scary in Los Angeles right now. To even if you look like you got money, you getting robbed. They killed Clarence Avon's wife. I couldn't believe that shit. So yeah, black men are scary. And my fear is actually justified because come to find out that they were some of the biggest slave owners. So let's get into it. It's who's here with me? Who's here with me? Great. Great. Who's still here with me? Somebody said, I got called a bitch yesterday because I commented on a post about another black man trying to compare us with white women. Oh, the niggas fear, the manosphere is, look, you think the death of Kevin Samuels left the opening for men who hate black women and go and express it on the internet? Do you really think the death of Kevin Samuels put an end to the misogynoir that we face? So I want y'all, all my sisters, to remember this, okay? Remember these words that are coming out of my mouth. And you know the best way you're going to be able to engage with this particular broadcast right now, today, is if you know the names of your ancestors from the 1830s. So all the people like, black men and really and this and that and the other, you about to hear something that will blow your fucking mind. And if you don't know the name of your ancestors from the 1830s, you need to shut the fuck up. Because it was probably your ancestors. And then they make all the women drop their maiden names and to take on these surnames. So a lot of y'all don't even know. A lot of y'all out here claiming for reparations, and your ancestors the one that owes reparations. That's why the White House is like, they don't know. You think these people just hate you for no fucking reason. You just think you're just so holier than thou, and the world just hates you because you're so holier than thou. No. So it's gonna be mighty difficult for me to explain a lot of this Native American history when you don't even know the name of your ancestors from the 1830s. 1825, Andrew Jackson was putting my ancestors on the Trail of Tears from Georgia, from Mississippi, Louisiana, and they had to settle on fucking Arkansas, Oklahoma, becoming Indian Territory. Eventually became Oklahoma. So what you look like looking for reparations? Slavery didn't even last but maybe 80, 90 years. Y'all talking about 400 years. Sat in that jail cell, nearly done about rot to death. United States was 1776. Okay, that's what instituted slavery. So all this, we come from Africa, man, we've been bamboozled and we've been hoodwinked. Too many of us. They just had the Black Panther premiere last night. I'm gonna get into the dissertation, but they just had the Black Panther 2 premiere last night, and all these American Indians, all these descendants of Creek, Seminole, the Apache, the Mohawk, the Algonquin, the Iroquois, all these Chickasaw, Choctaw, all these Texas Indians, all these California Indians, running around talking about Wakanda forever, and Wakanda's in Kansas. There's not a single Wakanda in Africa. If they want to put one up, that'll be very much modern. And then you'll understand what we mean by New England. Johannesburg, Birmingham, all these names we have over here. This newly discovered land got all these ancient names and titles. And you really believe this, that they just named it Montezuma, Georgia. You just think that they named it Nacogdoches, Mississippi, and Natchez, Texas, and all these other places. You just think they just come up with these random fucking names. So I'm gonna get into it real quick because this information is upsetting enough. Share the video, ping some people in. Ask me where I got my research from. Let's source it. Free Negro owners. We don't, because of Obama, they don't call us Negro anymore. So good luck trying to find a lot of y'all's history. But we're not allowed. In the Negro word is a profane, obscene, derogatory slur. So let's hope that this broadcast don't get shut down. And I'll be sure to share my sources after the video, so I can copy and paste and put it in there for y'all. Free Negro owners of slaves in the United States in 1830. So the author of this research department of the Association for the Study of Negro Life, somebody was doing a comprehensive study on the lives of Negroes and just the history of the Negroes. So the source, this comes from the Journal of Negro History, which is today called the Journal of African American History. We're not African. All right. I know a lot of African tribes, the Fulani. Everybody always says, Lila, you look Fulani. All right, so tell me when the Fulani were kidnapped and sold. And what port did they come from? And in what time? Because by the time the Fulani was transported from West Africa, my people were already migrated on the Trail of Tears. So, yeah, well, let's get into the Woman King. We might get into the Woman King as well. Because what we're going to point out here today is that black men profited from the transatlantic slave trade to build this patriarch. They profited on the West African side of the transatlantic slave trade, and then they profited on the United States side of the transatlantic slave trade. Black men profited from both sides of the transatlantic slave trade, and that was after the Trans-Saharan slave trade. You're welcome. The Journal of Negro History, January 1924. This is volume 9, number 1. I think I'm going to resubscribe to the journal because I want to keep the legacy of Carter G. Woodson alive, or at least make a donation. I think later I'll share another link how we can all donate, because this brother, when we read why he did this work, you'll come to find out why this was so important to do. So I'm going to keep sharing the video, and so I wanted to My Lord. Who would have thought? We've been bamboozled. We've been hoodwinked. We've been led astray. It's so sad. It's so fucking sad. Here we go. I'm just trying to share it out because I have a lot of different feeds. And before we get into this work, it's... Let's sing it together right here. We're on an ultralight beam. Let's get into this ultralight beam. Everybody, where you get your sources from? Shut the fuck up. We're about to get into it. Somebody said, "Did your family own slaves? You should come and see." Black men own slaves, and nobody wants to talk about this shit. All right, so I'm gonna get into it. I'm just inviting some people out because there's not enough people in here. We need to get some more people. All right, so great. I'm just sending this. I'm sending it out. Just wanted to send it to a few more people because I don't like to repeat myself. I already did this on Clubhouse. I'm no longer on Clubhouse for obvious reasons. Fan base is not really big enough yet. Fan base is a black-owned version of Clubhouse. So if you're here, comment. Let me know you're here. I appreciate you. I thank you all. I really want y'all to shut the fuck up. That they didn't, black people couldn't, and they wouldn't let us. But you own slaves. Man, don't even get me started on the colored aristocracy. That's why a lot of y'all hate the boule and y'all hate the upper echelon of the Negro race class. Y'all think that everybody should be down in the barrel together, and that's where y'all gonna realize it. And I will give props to Kanye for saying that, and I was kind of already feeling that, but when he said it, he was on a talk show, and Ye said, you know, it's not about racism anymore. Or maybe at one point it was. He said it's a classism. And I'm like, ding, 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 ding. Karl Marx, Karl Marx, Karl Marx. But y'all who claim that y'all were descendants of slaves are loving the economy that was built from your ancestral slave background. So why wouldn't you choose the economic ideology that is freeing and liberating against, slavery? Why would you then buy into the same system? That means capitalism can only exist if there's the exploitation of labor and of the proletariat. I know this shit's boring. That's why y'all don't know nothing. That's why y'all still talking about niggas in. And all y'all know about slavery is Hollywood Columbus myths. Y'all still think that the Italians are the Native Americans. It'd be so funny. I'd be hanging around with the Cherokee and I'd be looking. And only so many of us are really Cherokee, but you'll see a lot of white people. And all the black people we in Cherokee, we in there like swimwear. So I'll show a little bit of that. But by the time the Doheny were selling their own mothers into slavery, the men were selling their own mothers into slavery, my people was already in the interior of the United States on both sides. On both sides. My people were already in places like Georgia, what you would today call Mississippi, Louisiana, and we're going back, back, back. And also, people that need help with their genealogy, I'm not doing no more videos where I'm about to break this. I have done so many free videos, and y'all just seem to can't figure it out. And some people's like, look, Lila, I'm just not good at researching. So I am charging a very nice fee to help y'all with y'all's genealogy. I'll do it for you. But you do need to do some of the goddamn grunt work. Like, I'm not going to just do it all by myself. So, thank you. All right, I want to read this. I want to preface it before we get into the black man who owns slaves. And don't worry, I'm going to show you the goddamn list. It's 40 fucking pages in type 8, type 10 font. All right? All right? I got to preface it with something very, very important. I don't have but the thing is, y'all don't even know y'all ancestors' name in the 1830s. Get them. All right, so I'm going to read this for y'all, and I read this with so much love. And when I finish, I'm going to play a nice little tune. I'm going to shoot over to the list. We not spending too much time on this. You better give me an ancestral name from the 1830s if you want to know if your ancestors owned slaves. You old wealthy bougie Negroes. Now you over here. That's why a lot of black people ain't for reparations. You cannot expect, just because we all melanated, for everybody to be for reparations. They're just not going to be, because they know their ancestors were black, free Negroes. And let me tell you, there were more free black people than there were more on the slave side. There were more free Negroes, people of color, mulattoes, Indians, than there were slaves. So everybody just running around claiming this slave caste. Shame on you. Shame, shame, shame on you. You don't even know their names. At least if you're going to claim slavery, know your ancestors' names. It's fucking embarrassing. Now, we're going to do this with reverence. I might need to smoke a little bit. This is very hard. This is a very hard discussion. Okay? We might have to do a little peace pipe. All right? So, taking up the study of free Negroes in the United States, the research department of the Association for the Study of Negro Life and History decided to make this statistical report, as I've already stated, as to the heads of families, their ownerships of slaves, and social relations with the whites. So, no, we're not playing no doohickey here. Black meets white and white meets black. And yeah. Shut up, Moors, because I got something for y'all, too. With that bullshit y'all be on, the rise of the Moors and we sovereign, we're gonna represent ourselves in court. Guilty on all 76 accounts, life in prison without the possibility of parole. So the aim, what was the purpose of this, you may ask? Well, the aim was to facilitate the further study of this neglected group. See, most of these people have been forgotten, and I have tons of books back there as well. Most of these people have been forgotten. For persons supposedly well informed in history are surprised to learn today that 500,000, almost a seventh of the Negroes of this country, were free prior to the emancipation in 1865. Y'all, we got some statistics that will blow your mind because remember, there was very poor reporting. It's not like we just had a fax machine and we could just email shit over. So a lot of this information, it's 2022 and this information is just now coming out. The names we will be calling out some of the names of these families and the counties and the states. These names will therefore serve as a link between the past and the present and will thereby lessen the labor of research in this field. What Carter G. Woodson is saying by this is that it would have been hard as somebody like me that is into genealogical studies, deep into this history, it would have been very difficult for me to be able to connect a lot of this research because for the simple fact that it gets disconnected. It becomes broken links and paths to nowhere. So I just want to make sure I'm inviting some people in. Hey, what's up? What's up? Thank you for the compliments. I do have bars. I have books and I have lines and I have so much. I have so much. Y'all don't even know. Y'all don't even know. This is very hard. So I might need to smoke. I might need to pull up, invite some people in. Some people do know their ancestors' names from the 30s. Let's see. I want to make sure I'm in the right. I want to invite some more people in. Okay, great. Because if your ancestor's name is on here, this is not to shame anybody. The goal here is not to shame anybody. It's to let y'all know that y'all can't keep running around claiming to be victims of slavery. So I'm going to read a little bit more and then we'll go from there. Okay, great. This is really hard. Okay. So I want to reiterate this point. The names will therefore serve as a link between the past and present and still thereby lessen the labor of research in this field. There were several reasons for selecting the census records of 1830. In the first place, the early reports do not give as much information as the census of 1830. So think about it. They just started census taking around 1790, okay? For those people that really want to learn more about their family, all right, you're probably going to be able to start around 1790. But think about this. At that time, moreover, the free Negroes had about reached their highest mark as a distinct class around 1830. The free Negroes were their own class. Negroes had reached their highest mark at this point. The reaction, which set in earlier in the century, restricted their freedom and in many cases expelled them from the South. Because they were free, they said, get the fuck up out of here. Because if you stay here, we're going to enslave you. They were free. So my people, and a lot of along the Kitawa bloodline, was saying, we got to get out of here, okay? We got to get out of here. This newly formed United States is out of control. The census then evidently reports the names of a larger number of representative free Negroes than any other census prior to their debasement to a lower status. Once they started to take on a color, then they were able to take this color code system. Instead of saying wealth and who's American and who's English and who's French, they started making things based on color. So then they were debased to a lower status or their migration from the South. So this journey reached its highest point between 1830 and 1835. Most of the free Negroes in the North in 1830 had already been there for some years. We're talking about the census of 1830. Thousands of black men owned slaves at this time, okay? The census record, and then we'll break it down to some of the, because some places are so fucking large, it's just whatever. It's just, we're going to probably break down South Carolina and Kentucky. The census records show that the majority of the Negro owners of slaves were such from the point of philanthropy. So is it okay for when black people own slaves that it's come from a philanthropic cause? So will we believe the same thing if a white man said, oh no, I purchased these slaves out of philanthropic efforts and charitable causes? Is it okay if a Jew owned a slave and said, no, I did so out of benevolence? See, to many instances, the husband would purchase the wife, or maybe even the wife would use the plantation as a brothel and go purchase herself a husband. See, the slaves belonging to such families were few compared with the large numbers found among the whites on the well-developed plantations. This is where the beta males start to come and say, well, no, if there were thousands of black males that owned slaves, there were millions. This is what I imagine that they're doing. There were millions of whites that own slaves. To me, a slave owner is a slave owner. Now, I want y'all to all think back, just your understanding what you've been taught about slavery. And y'all make fun of these people and you mock them as if they're shucking and jiving. When somebody says, oh no, Master Wilson was a good master, I need to go to Hollywood and just act one of these slave movies because I could do one of them. Master Wilson was a good master. And in your mind, you're thinking, what the fuck is wrong with this Negro? What the fuck is wrong with this African? What the fuck is wrong with this Indian, this indigenous person that was enslaved? What do you mean they was a good master? Think about all the times in history you've read books and document. Oh, no, not this master. He was a good master. You know why they were saying that? Because they were Negro owners. Every time you heard, oh, no, not this master. This master was different from the other one. This was a benevolent slave owner. There you have it. That's one of your Negro slave owners. See, the slaves belonging to such families were few, right? But think about this. Slaves and Negroes, or in some cases, the children of a free father who had purchased his wife. Submit, Kevin Samuel said. Kevin Samuel said, submit. If he did not thereafter emancipate the mother, as so many such husbands failed to do, his own children were born his slaves and were thus reported by the enumerators when it was time to take the census. So this is what Kevin Samuel's crew had decided. All the beta males and the Nick cells that rock with Kevin Samuel's ideology. This is what the bromans and the manosphere had came together and decided. Man, I done bought this wife and she unruly and she won't submit. So the Negro male class came together and said, you know what we should do? When we first purchased our wives from the brothel plantations, because the plantations were used for breeding farms, they would say, put her on probation. This is their idea. This is how niggas think, the white chromosome. Put her on probation for a few years. If she does not submit or behave according to how he believed the wife should act, he would then sell her back into slavery. Most men, once they married these women, would not immediately manumit them or free them. He wanted to try it out like he's test driving a goddamn car. Okay? He wanted to test drive it for a little bit. If she proved to be unruly or just not to his liking, or maybe she was a lazy lay, who even knows? Who even knows with these Nick cells, beta males? He would then sell her back into slavery, most often for a profit. Let's get into these numbers. Some of these black men, as husbands, were not anxious to liberate their wives. Submit! Nah, I don't want you to go get no job out there, they would say. Your job is right here in this home. So the black men would then purchase black women to be their slaves, domestic slaves for the home. But it's domesticated, right? So it's okay. Didn't give a shit what she thought, right? It didn't matter if she loved him or not. Some of these husbands were not anxious to liberate their wives immediately. They considered it advisable, according to the Kevin Samuels of their days, to put them on probation for a few years. And if they did not find them satisfactory, they would sell their wives as other slaveholders disposed of Negroes. So, for example, here's a story. This is just a loose story, okay? Oh, I might need to smoke on this one. They considered it advisable to put them on probation. For example, a Negro shoemaker in Charleston, South Carolina, purchased his wife for $700. With today's rate and inflation, that will cost you $25,000, $24,000 to $26,000. Let's say roughly $25,000. So the niggas of their days had about $25,000 to go spend on purchasing a wife. Okay, $700 in 1830. Okay. So don't get this shit twisted. Black man didn't have no rights, and black man didn't have this, and black man didn't have that. Shut the fuck up. See, but on finding her hard to please, he sold her a few months later for $750. He made a $50 profit. And in these days, like I said, maybe purchase her around $24,000 and then would sell her for $26,000 because she only appreciates in value. See, he gained $50 by that transaction just in a few months. So imagine if he sold her and the kids back into slavery. Now she's coming with her and children. Okay? So the writer of this dissertation, this study, this thesis, he personally knew a man in Cumberland County, Virginia, whose mother was purchased by his father, who had first bought himself. Because remember, Negroes were buying themselves out of slavery because remember, the slaves weren't paid. How is it that if you were unpaid free labor, you were then able to purchase yourself out of slavery into freedom and liberation? We need to stop lying about what happened during slavery. So, okay, get this one. So becoming enamored of another male slave, the woman that was formerly a slave gave him her husband's manumission papers that he might escape and they might flee together on free soil. She did not want to marry this man that had purchased her. She wanted to marry another man that she was enslaved with. So when this man bought himself into slavery, she took his freedom papers and doohickeyd it, and they didn't have ID cards, and just gave it to this other man. But upon detecting this plot to flee together, the officers of the law got the impression that her husband had turned over the papers to the slave and arrested the freedman for the supposed offense. He had such difficulty in extricating himself from this complication that his attorney's fees cost him $500. To pay them, he disposed of his faithless wife for that amount, sold her back into slavery. So think about it. Every time a husband and wife got into it, he was like, I don't like you no more. And he would sell her back into slavery. See, they would call these slave owners benevolent. Oh, this is a good master. He's a good master. That's how they do distinguish between the black and the white. So what they would call them benevolent Negroes. Often purchase slaves to make their lot easier by granting them their freedom for a nominal sum, or by permitting them to work it out on liberal terms. For example, another example, John Barry Meacham, a Negro Baptist minister in St. Louis. See, around this time, all the Negroes in St. Louis, 100% of the Negro population spoke French. Francois. So, the exploitation, all right, a Negro Baptist minister in St. Louis thus came into possession of as many as 20 slaves by 1836. The exploitation type of Negro slaveholder, moreover, sometimes feeling the sting of consciousness, he eventually liberated his slaves. And you'll hear so many stories. You'll hear so many stories of, this was a good master. He started to free his slaves. After so long, it weighed on his conscience. So he liberated his slaves. So did the same Negro slave owner with Samuel Gibson, a Negro of Mississippi, in 1844, when he bought his 6 slaves to Cincinnati, Ohio, and he settled them on free territory. So all those stories of those slave owners that freed their slaves, Those were benevolent Negro slave owners. And aren't we just so thankful? So practically all of these Negro slave owners were in the South. All right. Slavery, however, at that time had not been exterminated altogether, as we know, for example, in the North and also Indian Territory. So even there, the Negro was following in the footsteps of the white man, as this report will still show you. So when you talk about, see, this is where I have to call bullshit real quick. Because if you listen to a lot of the Negroes, they'll say, we taught them everything they know. So which one is it? Who's following who? Because show me a time in history when we've ever copied them. So all of a sudden, when it's time to get to the bad shit, that was white man's idea. See, this is where we got to take a pause, and I'm gonna pause for effect. I wanna hear what y'all got to say about this. This is mind blowing. This is absolutely mind blowing. This is absolutely mind blowing. See, Great Britain, there was no slavery there. In France, there was no slavery there. All of Europe, serfdom, feudalism. In Russia, there was no slavery. There was a perpetual slavery. Oh, this is so sick, y'all. This is really sick. This is really fucking sick. Miss K, wait till we get to the 40 pages of all these names. But Miss K, what would be the point of showing them the names of the Negro slave owners when they don't even know the names of their ancestors from the 1830s? Shit. They don't even know the name of their ancestors from the 1900s. Shit. They don't even know their ancestors from the 1950s. What are we doing here? I'm fucking wasting my time. But maybe somebody will find this information nearly 100 years later, like I'm finding Carter G. Woodson's extensive research, and so thankful to this brave soul. Because you know niggas had to been whopped by this, and I guess this is just another thing we just swept up under the rug. Give me peace. Give me peace. See, in the South were almost all of the Negro slave holders, owners. They were all found in the South. Moreover, we find some of them competing with the large planters and the number of slaves they owned. Most of such Negro proprietors lived in Louisiana. I think when we counted, when we did this on Clubhouse, Louisiana had the most, right? Then there was South Carolina, then there was Maryland, and then there was Virginia, as did the majority of all the slave owners. So if you're saying the majority of slave owners that were white were in Louisiana, then you find that was also the case for the Negroes. So they were 1 and 1. Sick. There are, moreover, a few instances of confusing absentee ownership with Negro ownership. Sometimes, when we say absentee ownership, that's something that a lot more researchers are starting to uncover. Sometimes a free Negro had charge of a plantation. He ran the whole motherfucking thing. Talk about Django. But he did not himself own the slaves. See, this is where we start to, I remember I was talking to A. Maddie D about this on Clubhouse, and she said, so let's say there were 200 slaves on this plantation, and you had a black man as the overseer and absentee owner. So when the slave master is away, because remember, he's not really from here. He's like, got to go back to Europe for some shit. So while he would go back to Europe, then this black man then became this absentee owner. And see, I don't know why y'all just like to think all these like some of these arranged marriages, sometimes white women were there, but not really. Remember, who the fuck would flee Europe and then bring Europe? It's like bringing what they say sand to the beach. Who would then? So you really think that these motherfuckers had time to leave the deepest depths of Georgia, go over to Savannah to get on the port, go over to West Africa, fight some free-willing Africans into submission as sold by their own kings over there, and then maybe stop by Portugal so you can ride into Europe? Jesus fucking Christ. Like, they do know these are weak and fragile Homo Neanderthal. You know they can't even take, like, the tropics, right? This shit's... These are the Moors. These was quite simply, frankly, let's fucking call it, but these were the black Moors. This is what the Negroes. Oh, we speaking Spanish? What the fuck is this coming from Spain? Oh, this is the Spanish. This must be the Spanish. Now I get it. So we don't call them Negro because that's Spanish. That's an old term we could just wipe away. We're not calling them Africans. Even in 1790, we're not calling them we might say of African descent because they just think all comes from Africa. So they had some understanding of fucking what? Lucy's bones been discovered at this time? Were they excavating Kemet yet? Most likely, yes. This is like fucking yesterday, and when we talk about the relativity of time, this is literally yesterday. It's like, we're still living in these homes. Please. So anyway, let's get on with it. This is fucking embarrassing. Sometimes a free Negro had charge of a plantation as absentee owner. And so the enumerator, this census taker's like, I don't give a fuck. Look, the enumerator's like, whatever, Negro, slave owner, 200 slaves. I'm not the owner. It's not. Okay, whatever. You got the same surname as the fucking farm. This is very tough to get through. So bear with me while I stall here. Pause for effect. Let that marinate. You let your chicken marinate. Let this information marinate. Share the video. Let's see. Are we getting any comments? Let's check in. You know, I've been doing some updates and stuff like that, so it's just like, let's get on with it already. Look, we're just gonna bypass some of this information. Let's start with. I'm gonna bypass some information because we're gonna go Alabama and then Arkansas. Alabama, and we're going straight into Arkansas. Free Bob! What was his goddamn name? He had 3 slaves, a total of 4. So I guess what he's counting himself as a slave. How many people in his household? So let me show you how we're going to do this. Oh, and we're starting with 44. This is so fucking telling. Oh my God, it's so sick. All right. We got about 40 pages. Yeah. Let's see. So we have so many pages. We could go. Fuck you. Y'all should be paying for this information. This is not free. This information is not free. I think y'all can listen. We got a lot to get through. This is what you want. You could cross-reference your family's name. You might find some of your family. Okay. We're going to get to it. We're going to get through this. Oh my God. This is tough. This is tough information. What else do you have to do? They be on Clubhouse. I'm coming back to Facebook to tell y'all they be on Clubhouse all fucking day. Holding the line. Just holding the fucking line. Oh, this is tough. This information is so tough. We're getting to it. So we are on, there's so many roles. There's so many roles. There's so many roles. There's so many roles. And I'm starting to realize what all these roles are for. So fun. Our information is, we are so deep. I'm like, are these Secret Service files? Like, what's going on? So, it helps if you have your family's names, the surnames that we still carry on today, check there. And so I'm thinking, like, wow, what a blessing to be able to retain the names and just even just making women drop names. Like, so fucked up. Okay, so before we get into this, how do you read this? A lot of people can't read. They're illiterate when it comes to these graphs. So, the columns are giving the age. It does not every time give the age of the head of household or the family. So a lot of times it would be like, how old are you? They wouldn't ask them how old they would say, what year were you born? So they would be like, so in some instances, the age of the head of family cannot be actually figured out. The age that they give here is that of the oldest person in the family of the sex indicated as the head of the family. The record as to sex, moreover, is often confusing. The name of a male is sometimes given as the head of the family, while the sex is indicated as female, because the patriarch was like, I'm the head of household, and then they would be like, who's the oldest man here? That's great, but okay, how old are you? Your age. That's the age. Damn. Damn. The name of a male is sometimes given as the head of the family, while the sex is indicated as female and vice versa. So in 80% of the cases that we're presenting here, which the investigator had tested, however, it can be shown that this is the actual age of the head of the family. So they said 10 to 24 means the ages of 10 to 24. 24 to 36 means between the ages of 24 and 36. So when they say the column that's entitled slaves gives the number of slaves owned by the head of the family. So total means the number of persons in the family together with all of the slaves. This enables the student. So what are we doing here? What we call methodology. We're going to start with DC. What we're doing here is called methodology. Don't worry about that. All right, let's start here. I think we should go in some more. Let's really blow it up here. All right, we're going to start with maybe we need to go up some. So Delaware, Connecticut, District of Columbia. Oh! I found one I'm particularly interested in. All right, look at this one. We found a Baltimore. All right. Their name was Colored? Come on. Did they even, what's going on? Colored family. What is that, the Browns? Who even has that surname anymore? Some of these surnames. Free Bob? What in the Indian? This one must be one of them English Indian kids. In Lafayette. All right. So we're looking around here. I know what my ancestors were around this time. Let's check all the states. Let's start with Alabama. All right. Let's check this out here. That's how I know some of y'all not really working on reparations. Look, if we're gonna sit here and talk about recuperation, you think I'm just gonna be like, we're gonna recoup your pay for 1865? No, we going 1865 to 1465. Some of us is going to 1460 goddamn 5. So y'all, let's research together. All right, so I don't think I'm giving y'all a cursor here. So I said I don't want to give y'all a cursor anymore. Let's see if I can do this. Y'all here with me? Is anybody here with me? Give me some hearts. Give me some thumbs up. This is where I spend my money, not in the clubs. Oh no. Oh, oh. Oh no, not in the clubs. We are not spending our money there. So, are y'all gonna start giving me some surnames or what you think your family name? Y'all any names y'all? I'm over here like I'm not going in about to start spilling family secrets, snitching on your families. Are there any names that you would like for me to check for the record books? We're not about to. You think we're about to sit here and just go through all the Negroes that own safes? Oh, y'all better. All these fables and myths. It could be one Neanderthal family that claim that they own something, and they all gather around and support that fucking one candidate. And y'all acting a fool in Georgia with these voting rights, and y'all trying to hold the black vote hostage for the color black. Y'all want them on record. Negro. Espanol. What the fuck are we calling these people Negro for? And then we gotta translate, and this is to translate to English, so it's fucking amazing. You talking about the Moor, the Spanish Moors? Why are you calling them Negroes? That's Espanol. Negro. It's a niet. Its etymology is niet. No light, no grow. And then we shall call them Negroes. What the fuck are we doing? So the English is like, okay, what's your name? And they really don't. No one cares. No one cares. Slaves. Look at this word. This is what I really want y'all to look at. This is what I really. There we go. Voila. All right. Why is this important? Oh, somebody got some names they want me to check out. We do care for the Moors. We want some more. Do you want the no or you want the more? Do you want the less or do you want the more? We have to. Oh, you don't know the story. These were just the regular Moors. This is not the Moors at war. Y'all, the Moors started losing. We were not accustomed to this. We was like, what? They did what? Somebody started running goddamn mouth. We had a rat. So, not so much Monroe County. I want you to look right here. That part where it says town. Oh, I'm so bad. I didn't give y'all a cursor today. That's too bad for you. We are zoomed 250% in. I do know. I just don't like them. You mad because they lost? Y'all, we was running it. The Blackamoors, the Negro, they just took the word black off. They said I be saying when I be talking to the Muslim Moors, it's two different Moors. There's the Christian black Moors, and then there's Islamic Moors. Yes. No. Okay. You guys keep talking. Let's get this straight. Yeah, you're all right. There's nobody's wrong here. All right, Mobile, Alabama. Slaves, slaves, slaves. Slaves, 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 slaves. There's your. Look at these names here. And Montgomery County. And Montgomery County. I don't like that it's doing this blue line. I wish I could give y'all a cursor. Maybe I don't want to switch it up in the middle of the broadcast, but you get the point. All right. So when you give me Bobby McQuinn, for example, as a name, you got to give me a state. You gonna have to give me a city. We going by count. This is the accounting records. Okay. Great. So Delaware. I think Delaware. I thought what was it? Vermont. Vermont was like, we're out of this. So what's going on with these people in Newcastle? Whose castle? Wait, hold on. Who had a Newcastle? Are y'all here with me? I'm about to hit the chat. Who's here with me? I'm going to give you a little Kanye shrug. All I know is somebody had a Newcastle. And I want a Newcastle. Now I want a Newcastle. Where's the Duchess of Sussex? Where's she at? What's she doing nowadays? Has anybody seen the Duchess? Has anybody seen the Duchess? Oh yeah, girl, she got a podcast and everything. Oh, so we're listening to the Duchess. What's she talking about? She didn't got okay. District of Colombiana. The Colombiana is always Saldana. She said, I'm not black, I'm Dominicana. And then just look on Colombia. You can do anything to that. La cucaracha, la cucaracha. Ya no can. Can I get some laughter? Come to find out. Negros on slaves. Tell me, what are these movies? I'll start the popcorn. And we're going to have organic maize popcorn. And what I was really trying to, Washington, whose last name Color? Is this the Browns? Are there anybody here named Brown? And look, and then right across the way here we have the Baltimore. Good God, what was he doing? All right, let's keep it moving. Some of y'all ancestors are here somewhere. The newly arrived Africans, maybe not. All right, so we're getting to Georgia. Okay, oh, gosh. Oh, yeah, Florida. Yeah, fucking right. Yeah, fucking right, Florida. Escambia. Escambino. Okay. Escambio. Oh, what we doing in Escambia? Okay. All right, so whose work is this? St. John and St. Augustine. What they was doing? Who's the Augustine? I know a lot of black people named Augustine. St. John's County. I don't like this word, Escambia. I don't like it. Escambio. I don't like it. I don't fucking like it. I don't fucking like it one bit. But we move on. Nassau, okay. So Nassau, of all the Negro slave owners, was Sophie Kingsley. So if I could do this for the Negroes, because where's race even detected here? So Georgia. There's no excuses for this. This is the information we have. Look for do you know your ancestor's name? All right. I got to figure out what the fuck was Fulton County called at this time, because I believe there was a name change. So we got Camden. We got Carroll. We got starting with Bird. We got Chatham County, the city of Savannah, and the prairie grass. All right. Whoa, there's a lot of names there. All right, we got it from here to here. All these names. Dang. City of Savannah. Here we go. Because a lot of people, that was the capital city. Because why? I wonder what kind of capitalism they were trading there. We have a Brown. Thank you. So Brown, it was really people last name color. We have a Rebecca Brown. Let's say, for example, I don't know. That's not my family's name at this time. But let's say we have a Brown. We carry this, and we see any last name. We have a Cujo here. Who the fuck is Cujo? You think there's a white man running around with his name Cujo? Y'all, do y'all understand these teens, these steens? Oh, all right. Uh-oh, here we go. Uh-oh. All right, we checking. What's this Fayette County? Hmm. All right. Oh, look at this. Oh, look at this. Oh, look at these names. Oh, we got a Richmond County. Oh, it does say. Oh, we have names. Negroes that own slaves. So who the fuck was that? The Indians? Did you know there was still a third class? These are all the Europeans. These are not the Indians. Especially in 1830. God, they were being displaced. Oh my God, massacred. My goodness. Well, here's Isabella Moore, for example. Let's look at some of these names. Isabella Moore, Richmond County and City. Okay, Augusta. Oh wait, Augusta, you're not quite yet off the hook. You got quite a few names there. Augusta, you go all the way. This is all Augusta. Well, yeah. So here you see Georgia, for example. See the name, the age, and then here we have like the word, the slaves, and the total at the age. And they only given age ranges. All right. Hopefully that'll help some of y'all. I like to play around here. All right, moving on to Illinois. We have another Putnam? Like, what's up with this? Or is that Chatham? Chatham and Putnam. Okay. All right, so we have a Shawnee town here. So that's the type of research I'll be doing. I don't know what y'all learning. I don't know what the NOTEPs and the NIC cells are teaching y'all over there, and no bridges to nowhere landia. But it's a new goddamn day. Class is in session. Great. Y'all gonna pay for this. You gotta pay me like you pay a professor. Y'all gonna get the cash app. Boop. or the universe will get you. All right, moving on to Kentucky. Goddamn. Kentucky, goddamn. All right, who's still here with me? Great. Hopefully my people are still rocking with me. Y'all, hey, y'all better take some notes real quick. I'm gonna scoot over to a county real quick. Hey, Lavinia, look. Give me some names. But you got it. But that might not have been your bloodline yet. You might have became a Brown later. You might have became a Turner later. You got to know from the 1830s. So dig, and at least say, well, shit. I still want to know what the goddamn Ducats were doing because they'll eventually come up. It's just you got so many answers. It's so many, so much. So I'm looking at the roles. I'm calling. If you want me to look up some names, I'm gonna start looking up some names. You might have been a descendant of a Negro slave owner. Don't be careful what you wish for out there. You can be paying yourself reparations. It's gonna be a fucking mess. Okay, we get over to Lexington. Let's try Lexington. Anybody from Lexington? Hey, that's my cousin. Hey, I raised this child into a woman. She's become. Look at her, so productive in the world. Look, I'm the eldest cousin, so I just act like I know everybody. I act like I raised everybody. Shit, I think I did though. I'm not gonna lie. Ain't nobody paying me to babysit, so there I was. I made sure y'all didn't die. I made sure I held it down for a few hours until an adult arrived in the in between hours. Look at this. What's these names right here? What they doing? They're okay. Colored man. That is not a last name. What are they saying about these people? Colored man. Damn, they didn't have no last name. So colored man is actually a name. Britain is actually a name. So yes, black people owned slaves too. So Kentucky, I think, has some of the most. So we still on Kentucky. We didn't went to another page. Washington County. I don't know these counties. I don't know. What was Breonna? What's her county? For Breonna Taylor. And then look, this one gives you gonna start snitching for the people that were south of Main Street, Springfield. Look at this one. Oh, they just giving all the deeds. They just giving all the details. You never know. You never know. South of Main Road. Oh my God. Wait till we get to the color. Okay, now that you found out Negroes own slaves, let me tell you some of the fucking stories. We have so much gossip. We have so much tea. I cannot wait for some of this tea. Okay, so south of the main road from Shelbyville to Louisville. Oh, I think we found Louisville. I think we found Breonna Taylor's area. And from the bridge on Clear Creek to the Mount Eden Road, who grandpappy give me these directions? The enumerator is like, oh my gosh, where are we? What county are we in? The enumerator is just like, what? What's going on here? Thank you. Somebody recognized. I did. You know what? I was the mature cousin. I've just always been mature, so I did raise y'all. And look at you, you're a rich son. Look. Let's start looking at something rich. Somebody's grandpappy was getting. The enumerator was like, oh my God, where are we? What county? We got to get close up here. It's like, okay, what county is this? Somebody's grandpappy said, look. South on the main road, where you is you south of the main road from Shelbyville to Louisville, and from the bridge on Clear Creek to the Mount Eden Road. Eden, yes, that Eden. Oh shit, where are we? Just hold on. So round thence, y'all. The word round thence is really here. Road thence. The word thence is actually here. So when you get to Mount Eden. Not to be mistaken with Mount Sinai Road. This enumerator was good. They nailed it. This with we'll say South Road to Gayaways and down to Ballstown. roll, and then you get to the Spencer line. What the goddamn is a Spencer line? Now we gotta go fucking. And then they just look at you like, I feel like I gave you more than enough. So there you will find John Edwards, one slave, a total of 3. Maybe he was the slave. Maybe he was a. All right, now you get on down to Shelbyville, because now you are north from Louisville to Frankfort. And they had to break that up. All this is Shelby County, but then they broke it up from Shelbyville. So who's Shelby? I'm better start seeing some Shelbys up in here. Who's Shelby? Now we got to go research who the fuck is Shelby. Oh, Louisiana, another state, y'all. I think Louisiana takes the cake. Louisiana! Congratulations. You're the first to pay reparations. From our understanding, you had a trade deal from Maryland to Louisiana. Old Louisville. Oh, King Louis. Oh, we have so much to discuss. This is so fun. Where's his descendants at? Are they running around claiming that somebody owes them reparations? This is fucking amazing. This is fucking genius. I love it. And they won't shut up long enough to listen. And they say, we the descendants of Abraham. Of the Abrahamic religions, you don't say. And the Indians said, what? The one thing you're gonna learn about these indigenous people that are native born, that they are not going to betray their ancestral motherland, no matter how much indoctrination. They'd be like, but still, they were still the Indians. So you mean to tell me in 1545, Tulsa, it was my people there, still being persecuted? These newcomers, they're so jealous. So jealous. This is the oil capital of the world, Tulsa. So now that it's time to start paying these descendants. Okay, so great. Let's move on. Okay, oil capital, Tulsa. Where's Oklahoma? We're on Louisiana. Let's get with the likes of Baton Rouge, Baton Rouge. Baton Rouge. Baton Rouge, you would say. So we have Iberville, because it's like Hibernia. We have Ascension Parish. Wonder what they was doing over there in Baton Rouge. I just want to say Baton. Like the Moulin Rouge, yes, Baton Rouge, Baton Rouge. And then we have, come on, guys. Assumption, consumption. Come on, guys. This is all Catholicism. This is Louisiana. So, Catahoula. We got Jefferson. All these. Now, look at this. So, are these Jefferson's kids coming in from Maryland? What's going on? Are they just placing these? Okay. Thank you. See here, when we get to Jefferson's kids, this must be Jefferson's kids. All right, and also Catahoula, James Bowie. See where it says FNC, free man of color, free man of color, free woman of color, free man of color, free woman of color, free woman of color, free man. All these different. Now, J.W. Martin, yes, the age range of those slaves was 55 to 100. They were just counting people as slaves. Let's see. Yes. So, like I said, Iberville. All right. Look at these Dubouché, Dubouclé. Sure. Definitely some. See, that's so fucked up. People be like, look at these names. Okay. So Jeffersons all continue as free people. So let's see. Same thing, yeah. Great. So free men of color. It's to me, it's the distinction here, free people. So Negro slave owners, but some denoted that they were also free people of color. This person here just got a name. Don't worry about my last name, it's just Molly. And Molly had 6 slaves and Plaquemines, and we had an Ann. So remember, we're still in Louisiana. Let's keep it going. We have a Lafayette. Louisiana's just got so much, you know? So y'all just be out there talking about black people they had nothing to do anything with. Point Coop. Here we go. This is so fucking horrible. This is horrible. And I was like, just let me go ahead and just let me get to St. Charles. Don't even get me started. So we got over here St. Bernard. This must be Louis' hideout. Must be Saint Bernard Parish? Definitely. Come on. There's a king. We done found the fucking king in hiding. How many people does he have with him? Yeah, this is very stately. Yeah. Great. So I'm trying to figure out this is why I'm not really digging in too deep to these names right now of the Negro slave owners. So Saint Bernard here. I want to go back up to the key. Slaves. 6 slaves. Total. 7. So he's the head of household, he's a slave. Like, this is what y'all about to start understanding about these slave myths. We have another Louis over here. So all you have to do is cross-reference these names. Louis Saint Bernard, Baptiste, Saint Charles, you got to remember, they started, this, it was so much. Oh my gosh, Honoré, Gabriel, the Ernsborg, Gilbert here. Richaud, Joseph. Okay, so we're gonna go over to this. For people that watch this later, I don't even want to say this is Negro, but you never know. Negrese, Libertad. This is a free Negro here. Saint John Baptiste. Okay. Isidore. I'm not getting to some of those. I'm just breaking down some of these very small ones for us. Maybe we can go in since I'm just kind of sticking to this column. So, of course, y'all gonna have some hard time trying to identify some of these names. Damn! She had 3 slaves. Total household was 17. So maybe she needed some laborers. And all these slaves that's buying themselves out of freedom. I just feel like this is what they were calling the proletariats. Yeah, I mean, I keep wondering, like, how do they outnumber? They're outnumbering the white people on the plantation. So if they outnumber the people on the plantation, how hard is that to believe? So then we got Western Baton Rouge. Louisiana has so much. So, this is, oh, look at this, Grand Prairie. I like names like this. I prefer these type of names. Plaquemine, Brule, Bayou, Mallet. These were families. There's no excuse. No excuse for slavery. So whatever they was trying to codify there with these slaves, whatever was going on there, some of y'all was gonna have to dig. Here's St. Mary's area over here. So there was 2 slaves, but 10 people total in the household. How can this be? Here's Washita. Here's some Indian stuff right here. Y'all act like it was just 2 families that lived in these areas. It's a whole free Negro class. This slavery thing is new. Fairly new. Fairly new. All right. So, yes. Washita. I love it. Louisiana. So there's a lot you can learn about these areas. You should be learning about these areas. Any questions? Tengo unas preguntas. ¿Tienes? Si tienes unas preguntas, anybody have any questions? Pregunta. All right. So Louisiana's still going. Now we're New Orleans City. For example, that should help you. Take a look. Hopefully this help you. Louisiana's still going. Oh my God. I think Louisiana, and I thought it was going to be Kentucky. Wow. Hey, yes. So let me know what you think about this information. If it's too much, I'll stop. Some people might be throwing up. Like people did when they saw The Exorcism, and I think this new Smile movie is making people like, I don't want to see nothing like that. So I can take a pause. If you have any questions, what do you think? Your initial thoughts, there's no wrong answers here. I will pause for the comments. So I'm a pro. Yes, I am. This is the events of the narcissist. When you're in a library and you're like, oh, they was doing what? I think my people was around this area at this time. What they was doing? I want to know what my people was doing around that time. I'm nosy. I found the latest tea gossip of the black aristocracy coming out of New Orleans into St. Louis. Somebody tried to go to the poor people's ball. Ooh. One of the Negresses wanted to go to the. What is she mixing? And there will come a time in history that you won't even recognize that we had our own societies. You think our debutante was trying to be like theirs? Our cotillion, our royal court? Oh, that is so fucking embarrassing. That is so fucked up. So fucked up. So when you wander on down that road, you get between the basin and the bayou road. And that's where you're going to go see Victory Braggamart. This is a separate list. Do you know by 1860, they had so many black people that owned slaves that they stopped counting? That's power. Yeah, why they had to call these people slaves? That's fucked up. An absentee master. So there's a slave master is never hardly there. Let's say he comes. So while he's away, going back to Europe, asking for permission about something or asking for more money, I don't just fuck. What the fuck were these people even doing? What kind of business was they working on? And then they was telling all their secrets right in front of the slaves, and then expected the slaves and the black people not to do anything. They're fucking retarded. That's fucking insane. You really sat here and think, well, yeah, we're gonna kill all their children tomorrow. And you think they just sitting there listening? Yeah, that's what they thought. They actually fucking thought that we wouldn't be prepared. We have 44 pages here. There was over 3,000. By 1840, this number doubled. So somebody, you might want to get a pen and pad or a pencil here. Make sure you have your little eraser in case you make any mistake. Yeah. So we got. we just okay. So you got 3,777 free Negroes that owned slaves, and they're all listed here. Some are denoted distinct more than others because maybe for that area it was like you had to buy your freedom and not. So somebody do the math. This number nearly doubled by 1840, according to the census, because again, these census took so much time. These enumerators are so lazy. But here we have it typed up because, in case the integrity of the document changes. Of course, these things were written on paper. So a brother in 1924 went all the way back to 1830 and got into those records. So we would have them today in 2022. All right, so it's between Esplandia and Street, let's say, and Canal Marigny, something like that. Great, y'all know these Louisiana towns. Y'all be speaking whole other languages. Between Bayou Road and the lake, somebody. Between Bayou Road and La Armour Street. Amor. Ooh, pretty name, L'Amour Street between Esplandian Street and the canal. Great. I bet that was pretty. I bet the area was so pretty. So you have names here. Names matter. But are you able to connect with these names? Do you even know you're at Louisiana's still going? Yeah. In the upper suburbs of New Orleans. So, whether it's color or not denoted, 3,000 slave owners, up to 6,000. And we have the comprehensive list. There's only 24 states. There weren't that many states. By the time of the Civil War, there were only 34. And here we are at 50. And you think that they brought us over here. By the time they even realized it was California, it was 1863. So, good luck convincing people that you just totally right, just had a raid against the indigenous people. And I mean, maybe because they didn't all have, every tribe was as big as some of the most elderly tribes. You know, they venture off and they break off. Jeez, fucking Louise. Like, there were people on this continent, okay, before the Siberian and the melting of the continental ice shelf and the Bering Strait. So, y'all gotta go there with that. Y'all gotta work that out on your own. I don't have time to be healing no cognitive dissonance. You gotta pay me for that. Pay me a prescription. And Louisiana is still going. We done made it. All these pages. Why do y'all think Louisiana was so? The upper suburbs continued. Jeez. Y'all know this area. Was this area purely, this is a lot of people. My gosh, coastal regions. Jeez. Why is Louisiana so many? Now I gotta start checking. Where was my people in 1830 Louisiana? I don't think I've seen our county here. I'm gonna keep going. I don't haven't seen us. This is now we in New Orleans. In the upper suburbs. We still in the upper suburbs. So you mean to tell me you can't do some cross reference to see real quick? Jeez. I'm gonna have to because I think I may have had some family. But I don't think it was in New Orleans. Where's Old Orleans in Mississippi? Mm. Jeez. Was we're just trying to get through Louisiana. So y'all have to check your families and figure it out. Is there any questions? I want to make sure. Somebody said, I wonder if it was a cover up. It's right here on the internet. We just had to know where to look. You see, this is the thing, humans. When they gave you all the internet, they didn't actually like tell you everything about how to use it. So you used to go to a site called Ask Jeeves. So you used to actually like type it in the full question because you knew proper grammatical punctuation and sentence structure. So now you just go to Google. That's Google. And you just be like, what's that song that goes dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun? And they go like, we know exactly what you're talking about because clearly you didn't remember the words. Great. And I think Louisiana still continue on in the upper suburbs. And we're going to just keep going until we just get to the fuck out of Louisiana. There wasn't that many people. Don't tell me there's that many white people there. Oh, it was millions of white. Who told you that? Election district number 2, New Market. What was the old market doing? What were they doing in Dorchester? What were they doing in election district? Who they was elected? Look, just in case you needed to know, Negro right here, James Blake, Negro. Peter Register. Just in case y'all was like, man, maybe this is not all Negro. Every area had different distinctions. Look at this, all Negroes. This is the Middle District. I like it. Okay, Middle District. Just in case anybody was like having a hard time. This information is very telling. All right, so some of these names: Stephen Red, Jacob Boone, Edward Clark, Aaron Turner. Middle District number 2. Remember 1830, let's see, the Louisiana Purchase and all that shit. I think at this point, we're around the cusp of these times. And we're coming in from Haiti. And it was Florida, good God. It's a fucking mess. So Maryland is next. Once we get to Louisiana, I told you it's something connecting here. We're in Maryland. Let's get started with Maryland. Okay, now we're in Maryland. Okay, Maryland's got a good record. Okay, we're at Louisiana. We made it. Oh, we made it out of Louisiana. Now we're in Maryland. Good. Maine. See, very small. Just one. Then we get to places like Maryland and city of Baltimore. It goes into wards, much like Louisiana, Maryland, Mary's land, Queen. Okay, we're getting 4th Ward. All right. I mean, 2nd Collection District, 3rd Collection District, 4th Collection District, as well as these wards. So this shit is like, I don't know what made people think. All right, here we go. Charles. We found a Charles County, a Caroline County. I love it. Look at this. All the way until we get down to about, and remember this alphabetical order doesn't, necessarily denote. But this middle district right here is just sticking out. They were very distinctive in letting you know that these were Negroes. So, of course, if they didn't have any slaves, not everybody had slaves. So those that were, it's like, how were they making their money? So, so these areas had a lot of transportation and ports, as you could imagine, coastal regions, and interacting so they could spread further out, still coming across Indians. It's like, hello, how are you? Now we're in Mississippi. We're just speeding through some of this. Mississippi didn't even have that much. Old Orleans. Good God. It's just like, what are they doing over there? Mississippi is heavily indigenous. It's like, all right, we'll try out this capitalism a little bit, but goddamn, Louisiana. Talking about Mississippi, goddamn, no, Louisiana, goddamn. Shit, city of Natchez here. That's pretty much it. So that's where you might say, okay, well, we got some counties now. If you had ancestors in the 1830s around Mississippi, which county? Missouri. All right. We got the same. I mean, Missouri's not even that long either. Missouri just had a few there. New Hampshire, New Jersey. Look what this area is called. You can learn so much. Look at the name of these towns. Freehold. Middletown. They didn't really. There's you can connect this when you are talking about the disposing of King James, King Charles, and King George losing his grip on the 13 original colonies. Oh, look at this place. Now we're getting over here to Pocahontas Town. Township of Aquanock. Aquaquanock. Aquaquanock. Who named this area? The English? This is their territory. So we're in English territory. Now when we get to New York, coming out of Jersey, New Jersey, at Essex, Morris County. You guys know this. Burlington County. Now we get over to New York. Remember, we got this Amsterdam Dutch shit going on over here. So whose names they got? Montgomery County. Look at Kanahari Village. Kanahari Village. I wonder what type of people lived over here. They had a Florida, New York City, King Street. I wonder what type of people in the accounting records for accounting purposes that comes by every 10 years. New York City, King Street. And look, do some research. You can learn about the neighbors. This is just the census. So much more. I know, get them! Get them! The slave owners. The Negro slave owners. We just in New York. And remember, it's not that many states, so we're almost done. So it's a lot. It's a lot. You go through these. We got about 20 more pages to go. So much information. You have to cross-reference. All this information is important. I wouldn't be sharing it if it wasn't. All right. All right. So a lot of different counties. It helped. We're being so specific. If you don't know the counties in, how you gonna say like you don't want this money? If so, if your ancestors were slaves, part of this, and it was state sponsored and allowed for the economy. So your ancestors were there, and you say there was, and you don't know their names, but you said there was somebody's all these names, and nobody would claim them. So what about this retroactive retribution? If you want reparations and you're supposed to get the land back, what you gonna spend the next 10 years trying to figure out what you? Oh, it'll be too late. Oh gosh. So what we're giving them 40 acres, 100 acres, 60 acres, whatever they kill, they can keep. What are we doing here? All right. So Pergamans, Saint Marie's, Saint Marie's. All right, New York. Ohio, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island. All right, hold your breath. We're going to South Carolina. Oh, they have Kentucky, South Carolina, and I believe it might be. I might be able to find something for Louisiana. Has its own book. Not everybody participates in the census taking. Oh my gosh, we're probably missing so much. These are just the free Negroes. All right, and these are the. It's starting to get boring. It's like, I mean, have we hit bingo yet? So, what do you want? A land and a Rolls Royce? Who's gonna build this Rolls Royce? Okay, you get a tax credit if you get a Rolls Royce. The government will pay you back. All right, somebody said 40 acres in a Tesla. So South African apartheid. Elon Musk. Let's read some of these headlines. All right, let's read some of these headlines. We getting out of this. I'm getting out of here. Hell no. Exit. Hell no, we're getting out of here. This is too deep. It's too deep for me. Yeah. We got to get out of here, Chief. Yeah, I'm not even ready to go to South Carolina. They have their own book. I'd rather pull up the book for you. Let's get into those details. Don't worry, we got you covered. Nobody escapes. Y'all sure you want to do reparations? Let's just first talk about the free people of color before we get into the slave owners. This is so fun. We'll get to the. Here we go. We'll get to that. Let's have some fun. Well, some of them by 1860, fully let's say about 75% of the free black people of color in Charleston were called mulattoes. So mulattoes, all these Espanol words, mulattoes, Negroes, Indios, Indias. Let me see if I can. Oh, we'll get this. We're just gonna go. Let's go for it. I like documents. I like showing you all documents. They always talk about the culture. They always want to talk about the culture. But we talking about agriculture. agriculture here. This word Negro, it just bothers me so much. This is some Spanish shit. What the fuck is Spain doing over here? What's Spain? Why the fuck is Spain over here? What the fuck is going on? This is like Spanish fucking law. This is like the Queen Isabella shit. Mm. So fun. All right, here we go. Oh God, let's read it. All right. The status of the Negro has rights and disabilities. Section 1. The Act of 1740. We just fucking made it. Are we referencing Negroes on this continent in 1740? Now we're going to 1740. The free people of color. We had fun with the slave stuff. Section 1 declares all Negroes and Indians, free Indians, in enmity with the government. Negroes, mulattoes, and mestizos, who now are free, accepted to be slaves. They said, declare all Negroes and Indians to be slaves. When you forget all that. That was the Negro Code. In 1740, there were these people that were already here. South Carolina and Georgia, 1732. What you gonna do? 1732. We got it. Y'all get into it, yeah. Oh, so many books. Oh, so fun. So fun. So many books. Oh, let's cross-reference. Yay, we get to cross-reference. Yeah, 1732, Georgia, as I suspected. As I suspected with my immense intelligence. They're all slaves now. That's when they became slaves. And 1740, the Act. The offspring to follow the condition of the mother. Because these are matrilineal societies. And that such slaves are chattel's personnel. So before this time, what we had in this area, before all this, we had free Indian. Ain't nobody said shit about an African. Free Indians in enmity with the government. The other Indians, they not, just leave them alone. But the Indians that are in treaties, deals, friendships, amicable with this government, all right, they're making these words. Negroes and Indians, the Spanish Moors, and the indigenous people. Already amalgamated, mixing, and being things. So within this category, we had free Indians that were maybe even, like, because they recognized this government, were then subjugated by its laws. And then you had Negroes, Spanish Moors, Okay, because what the fuck? All right, they didn't say black. They said Negroes. In Spanish. It's a Spanish term. Mulattoes. A lot of Indians, they couldn't figure it out. They just make mulattoes. And then the mestizos in the mix and give you a lot of probably even Euro-Asiatic, a Scottish, and an Irish with some fucking Russian somewhere. You got some mestizos. Those coming in. Remember, y'all like, I really just like these Euro Asiatics is not, it's just like this Aryan thing that y'all think it's just like, oh, this shit's so discombobulated. I just called them Neanderthals. There's Neanderthals. And then there's troglodytes. And then there's Homo sapiens. Jeez. All right. So under this provision, let's get on to the Indians. The Indians and descendants of Indians. Gee, it's too close. I need to come in. I need to see this. Oh, wait, let's see. Oh my gosh, it's so much. There you go. It's like, it's no in between here. Too close. All right, here we go. We're going to do it. We're going to go for it. Uh. All right, I'm sorry. This information. All right, let's get over. Let's kick it. Let's kick it. The Indians. You can read it yourself. Adults. You're adults. You're adults. Indians and descendants of Indians are regarded as free Indians in amity with this government until the contrary be shown. And the second provision of Section 1 of the Act of 1740 is declared that every Negro, Indian, mulatto, mestizo is a slave unless the contrary can be made to appear. Yet in the same, it is immediately thereafter provided the Indians in amity with this government, except in which case the burden of proof shall lie on the defendant, that is, on the person claiming the Indian plaintiff to be a slave. This latter clause of the proviso is now regarded as furnishing the rule. The race of slave Indians or of Indians not in amity to this government, the state is extinct. It literally says extinct. They've been basically extinct. And hence, the previous part of this proviso has no application. The term Negro is confined to slave Africans, the ancient Berbers. It's telling you right there, y'all. Those are the Moors. I keep trying to tell y'all. They're the ones that lost. So it's all these different peoples. The Berber groups, okay? I've been trying to tell y'all. And their descendants, it does not embrace the free inhabitants of Africa, okay? Such as, here's their clause, such as they're talking about only the Berbers, such as the Egyptians. Oh, now you did not get a clause. So, who's exempt? It does not embrace, but it says it does not embrace. Here we're making some distinctions. They're still slaves too. They're making them slaves. It does not embrace the free inhabitants of Africa, but they're making a distinction who gets to be free and not free when it comes to the slave Africans, the Egyptians, the Moors, or the Negro Asiatics. Who are they even talking about at this point? Is this the white slave trade? As such as the Lascars people. Mulatto is the issue of the white and the Negro. Oh, is this your Creoles? Look, you mulattoes. When the mulatto ceases, you people. When the mulatto ceases and a party bearing some slight taint of the African blood rank as white is a question for the solution of a jury. Oh my God, they were so serious about this colorism. This is insane. This is insane. And they be like, oh, colorism has nothing to do with anything. So, anyways, I'm gonna get back to these Indian and these Negroes. They are the most interesting group. They're at the top here because they really want to make this definition. I think that these places are challenging. I think Louisiana is challenging this definition of black and Negro. Like, wow, what are they saying here? It's like paper genocide, just like in a matter of seconds. So I can't wait to see, because it's like, and we're still here, and we're still here, and the population count is dwindling. Oh my God, we survived COVID. Not a lot of people survived COVID. We survived. It's like there's a term they call it. They call it um, COVID. We're the COVID Dodgers. Well, whatever it is, we survived, and maybe it is because of the. Maybe it is because of the. I don't know. I don't know. Did the people get the vaccine? Did they survive? Who knows? Oh my God, it's so much. Y'all, South Carolina, we're going to get back to the free Negro. I thought I wanted to go over to the free Negroes of South Carolina. Oh my gosh, it's so much. So, get this. Between 1691 and 1735, the South Carolina General Assembly ratified a series of laws intended to promote what white legislators described as the better ordering of slaves. Within these slave laws, which borrow elements from the earliest laws of Antigua, Barbados, Jamaica, the definition of an enslaved person in South Carolina gradually evolved. Still change these names today. So following the bloody Stono uprising in September 39, we have an uprising, Stono's Rebellion, Stono, Stono, in South Carolina. Following the bloody Stono uprising, and some of y'all probably know this if you're from this area, in September 1739, we're giving y'all 1732 is the starting date at this point in this area, and we're talking about the Act of 1740. But in 1739, September, the legislator there adopted a robust and more comprehensive slave law in the spring of 1740. In this act that endured with some modifications for more than a century, it's called the Negro Act of 1740, as it was commonly called, provided South Carolina's first clear legal definition of who was and who was not a slave. So the provincial and state legislatures continued to create additional laws relating to slaves and slavery over the years, but the defendants of status articulated in 1740 endured with little change. So, what does this mean? Remember, we had the Queen Sophia, Charlotte, all that good stuff. So, the Magna Carta protected these people. So, for South Carolina, we'll give you a 1664. A 1664 into 1740 was like, they're slaves. So, in short, South Carolina's early laws recognized four categories and classes of humans. First, in the eyes of the law, were free white men, women, and children of European ancestry. Now, our people, according to the colored aristocracy of St. Louis, were listed as white because they own property. And that's where we're going to get into the tea. And that's where you're going to get into the whenever you have money, you're just listed as white. It was a status. Nobody's white. Nobody's like, oh my gosh. Are you saying someone's like pure colored white? Oh my gosh. So free white men, women, and children of European ancestry, and then these are the blackamoors. I keep. Oh my God, the Neanderthals. Oh my God, they made it about skin. They were brown. It's so crazy. Oh my gosh, it's so crazy. You think it was about skin color? So a group of people keep literally saying like it's not a nationality. Like what would you call the Sudanese blurple? And it's just too much. It's too much. People literally like yellow talking about they black. I just be like, oh my God, on this planet, I'd be like, oh my God, you got one drop of Negro blood. I'm just like, oh, this is insane. This is crazy. And then people were literally fucking passing out. So the law did not view women as equal to men. And so the men had a leg up there. Oh, we didn't have a leg up. The patriarch had a leg up. But that's a matter for separate conversation. Second, the law recognized free Native Americans living in amity or in a state of friendship with the government of this colony or state. The law recognized their right to exist and to live freely, but afforded them few civil rights within the legal framework of the dominant white community. The law expected these free Indians would live separately from the urban and suburban centers of South Carolina society. You're on their land, but telling you, it was a clusterfuck. But these are the ones that kind of conceded and they didn't leave. Well, this is before they were forced to then leave. Eventually, this bond was broken. So by this time, my people had already moved the fuck on. They moved the fuck on. Nobody was staying around for that. The law recognized the right to exist and to live freely, but afforded them very few civil rights. They had to have their own Indian civil rights. Whew, this is so deep. 1664. Up into 1664. Okay? So, are we getting to the Indians? All right. It reduced enslaved people to this status. So when we get to the third part of the provision, the law acknowledged that some free citizens held other humans, especially those of African descent, some free citizens held African descent in a state of legal servitude or bondage. Legal servitude or bondage. This practice, in the eyes of the law, reduced enslaved people to the status of mere property. More specifically, they were legally identified as movable or chattel property. As such, they had no discernible legal identity or legal existence beyond their servitude. Black, silver to mortis, they were dead. Four, so if they killed you, you was like you, whoever you already, night of the living dead. So dead man walking. So fourth, the laws of early South Carolina acknowledged that some non-white people there were, for a variety of reasons, not enslaved servants and thus not considered property. Oh. And the law viewed those people as the free people of color, as valid, sui juris, independent. These are independent members of the community. The law did not recognize them as fully formed citizens. However, the mere facts of their skin color and non-European ancestry created legal disabilities that diminished their civil rights. So it didn't matter. They still just demarked them anyway. So nobody ever wants to talk about the free people of color. So The term free people of color, we have way more extensive information about them. Frequently referred to, you'll see FPC or FMC, free man, free FWC in a lot of the early records, and their plural forms were called free people of color or free persons of color. Emerged in the 18th century as a sort of legal shorthand. It was, oh my God, this shit. Like, y'all have to really, really dig. You have to go back to a time on this continent before slavery. It described a number of free people from diverse ancestral backgrounds. More technically and specifically, that phrase encompassed three distinct groups of people who are regularly mentioned in South Carolina's early laws, persons clarified as free Negroes. Okay? Keep telling y'all, like, these people were really hunting down the Moors, the Blackamoors. So their parents were both of African descent, persons called free mulattoes, whose genetic admixture included African and European. Y'all, these are the foreigners. These are not the Indians. These are your Blackamoors. I keep telling y'all. Yeah, y'all don't think the Nigerians was going up to England? You don't think the West Africans were going up to Portugal and Spain, and then eventually the Caribbean? So there's a third category of the free mestizos. Those are the Mexicans. You see what they look like. The latter term, mestizo, which was borrowed from the Spanish language, has a variety of connotations in other parts of the world, was used in South Carolina to describe people of mixed African and Native American ancestry. Welcome. Occasionally, one will find the word mestizo, or they may even say a musty. How rude. In 18th century Charleston records, Charles, persons of whose genome include African, European, and Native American lineage. You can see for yourself. Great. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Oh, it's so much information. So that's why I'm thinking maybe we should just. It's too much. It is too much. I think we should just get. Maybe we should just get to the Native American. We made our way to the Native American. I feel like we afford ourselves that. All right. I think we got a message here from Cherokee Nation. Oh, here we go. We're just gonna get into it. Thanks for tuning in. All right. Okay, so I want to make sure we're getting some. I want to make sure that we're getting the audio here. So I don't think you guys can get the audio. So hopefully we can figure that out. So the Cherokee are, well, they've always extended citizenship rights. Uh, It's so dark here, and I got my lights going. So we're getting to the yeah, this is great here. So great, lots of things happening. Okay, she's. So I want to. Okay, hopefully we can get some of this audio quality sound going. So I just wanted to bring that in. I'm trying to get over to the Cherokee news and yeah, because I think this is some good information coming out, and hopefully, um, we had a lot a lot going on tonight. Those we gotta get through these because I do not want to do this video again. It's very difficult. Who's still here with me? You guys really hanging tough. I love it. All right. All right. So basically, yeah. Maybe we should do it. Okay. Try something. We're gonna go on a limb, so maybe we can get this audio going. All right. So the Freedmen, the Cherokee, some updates. You guys, I like to keep y'all posted. This is awesome. It's really good. So hope you enjoyed these stories that I dig up and find. And let's get with it. Let's see. Yeah. I don't. Yeah. So the Freeman, y'all. Okay, so basically they went in front of the Supreme Court, and so I'm trying to get that. This is really good shit. So if I can't get that going, if I can't figure that out, it's okay. It's worth the wait. We are dispelling a lot about slavery. Oh my God, look at this museum though. Maybe we could just look at it and I'll explain it to you. So can you just listen? All right, I'll tell you what's going on. All right, so we're gonna get into it, and I'm excited to bring this news and information for you all here, and we're gonna keep it going because even if you can't hear the audio, I can, and so I'm going to explain to y'all. This is coming in from Oklahoma, and I'm gonna just bring you some. We're gonna be looking at some museum pieces and things like that. So hopefully we can get this going eventually. All right, we're gonna just try it, and so in the past 5 years, 12,000 people have enrolled. So we're bringing this in from Oklahoma. The chief, this is Chief Hoskin, principal chief. And so here's some of there's a museum, and they talk about that slavery in Cherokee Nation. It's there. We did it. Yay. Oh my gosh. Now you see, it's all about right now we're all about the visuals. So right now, this is more about the museum, the artifacts, the things that you can observe and see. So that's why I wanted to bring that story. Okay, cool. It's getting so dark. Look at this lighting. Okay, so yeah. Hey, we did it. Oh my gosh. 12,000. That's the update. That's the latest update. 12,000. Freedmen now in Cherokee Nation. They are now Cherokee Nation is now the largest American Indian nation. I believe the Navajo is at number two with like 300,000 maybe. Cherokee are over 400,000 now. The tribe just grew. We added to the population. So a lot of the information that's coming in from South Carolina, all these Negro slave owners, whew, these codes and laws were, it's a lot. It really is. It's a lot. So we gotta finish. I swear to God, I will do this marathon. We gotta finish this list because that's why I opened up the video as a special report. The news is the ticker. You can see it there. We've gone so far and back in history. So we're gonna get back to that. Can you believe how long? It's just like this list is still going. I was trying to take a break. I call myself taking a break. We gotta get this audio right. So we still going. All right. These are all free. So I needed to stop and explain to you what we mean by free people of color. It was broken down. Negro, laws, black, African descent, Indians, mulattoes, all these different distinctive groups. All these different groups. And then you have white people. And I'm just like, so all these different groups didn't like band together and create like when and outpopulate people. So South Carolina continues. It's a lot of information. I'm putting it out there. So when people say, what's the source? We've stated our sources. I'm a resource. Let's consider this a resource because this information and this work was already done. So when we get to South Carolina, we are burning the midnight oil here. Yes. We are literally burning the midnight oil because I'm sick of having to repeat myself. I love it. This is perfect. It's a lot of information. It's fall time. It's like it feels like it's the weekend already. It's Thursday, Friday. Same thing. All right, South Carolina is one of them places gonna have a lot. They had a lot of free people of color. So many free people of color. So you know all these different groups. They are broken down. Yes, there's some Indians, there's some blacks, there's some people they would call African. Look at the names. A lot of these are English names. You got here Newtown, Brown, the Browns. So yeah. All right, South Carolina Journal of Negro History. We have our own records. So y'all better understand this story. This is some of y'all's family has never, ever left these counties. So South Carolina's another one we have to kind of like keep going. Ward number 4. Journal of Negro History, South Carolina. Free Negro the Colors. We have here some Mary Brown. Now we make our ways to Tennessee. Mm, mm, mm. Oh, the patriarch. Oh, the patriarch. Oh, Virginia. And now we're getting to Virginia. It's just in alphabetical order. It's like a. So we're in Virginia. We've made our way. Mm, great. So again, from the states, we're breaking down the counties. Look here, we have the Kerr family. We have these counties. Then we start to get into the cities. This is all census, counting, accounting. Where it's enumeration, the numbers. And so I'm trying to figure out like they did not count the population as like 3/5. That was like for a voting thing. But come on, guys, you are going to need these census records. Census records matter. So all of them are here. Nobody. How can you miss this? I'm like giving away. Like we pay this stuff. You gotta pay for this. You gotta pay for this stuff. All right, Virginia. Continue on. Pages. A lot of pages. We still got just a few more. This is a lot. Somebody said, "Oh, it's just a few. Oh, just a few here and there." All right. So places like this, one slave, total household 5. Come on. I'm just like, like, geez. Now 5 slaves, 11. It's just what's happening here. Jeez. Franklin County. Jeez. Gloucester County. Gooch. Oh my God, Goochland County. What they was doing over there? All right, so we have Greensville, Hanover. Oh, the Hanovers. Henrico. Okay, we get over to the city now. Okay, maybe you don't know the counties. City of Richmond. Okay, here we go. And we're moving right along. We're just trying to get to the end of this. That's it. We're just trying to make it to the end. We're stopping, maybe some people want to take some notes. Look at some of these. City of Richmond. Continue. Interesting. Yeah, take a look. You can do your own research. I'll wait. Don't worry. I'll wait. Don't worry. I'll wait. Oh my goodness. It's a lot. It's a lot of names. So it really helps. Like once you have a name and then you have a street, then you have an area, you know. There's different wards, parishes, all these. Virginia goes on a whole nother page. So again, for example, if you need a little bit more clarification, all right, this is still, I believe, yeah, Jefferson Ward. And what I'm starting to notice is a pattern. Okay, we got the Isle of White County. What I'm starting to notice is that, okay, so are we still in Jefferson? Okay, I was gonna say, oh, there's King George County. I'm noticing there's a distinction. All right, great. Free people of color. Some areas you'll see it says FRE. For example, here in that area, here with Jenny of color. Jenny of color. It's just a fucking question mark. Oh gosh. I don't know. I don't know. But it's free. So yeah, South Carolina has this. One. Okay, great. Jeez. So they just started counting these people as slaves. Slaves, free, mixed households. This is fucking crazy. So here's the counties. You can dig in and learn more about these areas. And if your families are still in these areas, it's like, duh. So, oh, like there's the Commodore collection. That was fun. We already showed all that. I feel like we already did all that. All right. All right. So we'll come, for example, here. Louise, there's that Louis again. uh, here goes the free Negroes, Louisia. Luis, oh Louisa. Great. So fun. Yeah. Bob of Scott. Look at Bob of Scott. Sarah of Cowling, Peggy of Jordan, London of White. I love these day names. These are translations. Jim of Elliott, Polly of Manley, Betty of. I like this county. What county is this? I knew something was special. Okay, I'm gonna get into. I would. Oh my, Amelia of Sawyer, Jacob. I want to read their names. Their names are worth reading. Nansemond, County. Amelia of Sawyer, one slave, five total, age 24 to 36. Jacob of Holt, three slaves, six total in the household, ages 36 ranging to 55. Then we had Jacob of Reed and White, wife. Jeez, two slaves, nine total in the household. Jack of Hawks E, Hawks A, Hawks I, one slave, four people household total. Okay. Anthony of Pew, Sally of Pierce, Oxford of Brewer. Ooh, that sounds like a fun one. Three slaves. Seven total in the household. Nancy of Hare, Thomas of Bosworth, Hetty of Walker, Arena of Cali. The Ubs. Over in Shelburne. Oh, the contingency. What state is this? This is, I like this state. This is Virginia. Ooh, fun, fun, fun. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So, Arnia of Cali, look, Absalom of Willylock, Jack of Brown, fun. Oh, these are so fun. What fun names. Oh, the Ubs, the Dads. Oh, this should be fun. Jack, Jacques de Moreno, Maroon, Negro, no, Brown, Cafe, Maroon, Joseph of Walker, John of Walker, Jack of Atkins. I'm so happy for these names. Whatever life they live. Joseph of Walker, John of Walker, Jack of Atkins, Betty of Campbell, Polly of Manley, Jim of Elliott, Wilson of Teamer, London of White, Peggy of Jordan, Sally of Cowling, Bob of Scott, Watson of Bowser, Elvie of Ash. Some of these names are getting real Lord of the Ring-ish, Middle Earthlings. Jim of Bowser, St. John of Northfleet, Holloway of Copeland, Bill of Griffin, Sif of Matthews, and White Wife. Oh. Didn't make, okay, and White Wife. So if it was two in the household, was he being the Negro head of household, but still lower stat? Oh my God, they were really codifying this shit. These are all numeration codes. Oh my goodness, gosh. Excuse you, one slave, two people in the household. So a white woman was married to Sif of Matthews, Syphe of Matthews. Okay. Anyway, moving right along. That's their family business. Jerry of Johnson, Amy of Holland, Edith of Car. They just count the whole goddamn. Okay, damn. Okay, so one slave, Edith of Car. What's the slave? They had one slave. Okay, let's get to some of these that had multiple. So let's say, for example, Dempsey of Stallings. He's the slave. He must be the absentee here. 6 slaves in this household. 8 people. This sounds like if I do my math, that's telling me that the slaves are still. I just be the math ain't mathing. All right, here we go. David of Holland Jr., Charles of Cruz, Peggy of West, Bridget of Godwin. Ooh, what a fun name. Look, there's no pictures. Identity theft overload. And they're submitting this for the enumerations. Nancy of Shepherd, Morning of Wilkes, Rebecca of Catchin, another question mark because they just don't quite know. Lucy of Winslow, Jerry of Whitfield. Oh, they were so fun. It was so fun to visit their landia. Oh, that county was fun. All right, here's another one. Here's another fun county. New Kent. New Kent County. All these free color people. You'll see here under New Kent County. Great. And this is, we're still in Virginia. Goodness gracious. A whole new page. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. All right. Sally Fox, Sulky Fox, Thomas Fox. I like those names. Squire. We have a Squire here. Oh my goodness. Look at these people of color with their slaves. 5 people total in the household. Here, 5 or 6 people in each household. At least 1, 2, 3 slaves. I'm just figuring, like, is this what they just call the servants, the serfs? Is this is giving me serfdom? This is giving me feudalism. These people probably live in not really nice close proximity as neighbors in all these counties. I would imagine. Oh, here's a Norfolk County. This is fun. Norfolk County. These lists get so long. Virginia's going still on a whole other page. So this was like not necessarily made public, but it is in the university system. You can do your own reference. It's a lot of information. We went through this. I mean, you guys can check it out for yourself. There's no need to. No point in doing all that. Oh, here we go. Powhatan County. We got Pittsylvania County, and we have Powhatan County. So why not check it out? Maybe you check out Nancy Ellis there in Powhatan County with 2 slaves and 9 total in the household. Jeez, these people are crazy. What's happening here? Slavery is slavery. Prince Edward County. Oh my gosh, Thomas Morton. How many slaves did he have? It's a pretty large workforce there. 49 total in the household. Oh, geez. 45 slaves, 49 in the household total. Ages ranging from 24 to 36. What is happening here? What's going on in some of these households? Prince George County. So guys, all you have to do is just cross. Prince Anne County. I mean, I'm just highlighting some things here. I've already looked at all this. I already seen this y'all family and them. Y'all, this is y'all's people that was in that area. In the 6th. Let's take a look at this area. Let's put some dates on Virginia. Oh, that's the first one. Oh, no wonder. It's the first colony. No, it's 1607. Free people of color. Owning slaves. The Europeans. The English speakers. Look at these names. Barnes, White, Sparrow, Owen, Smith, Anderson, Palmer. King James. I did already did this on Clubhouse. It was pretty long. It was just this the video is pretty long. So here we've been taught in the classroom that slavery existed. Here we go. Here we go. This is so fun. Let's do it. All right. The 13 black colonies. Okay, the 13 black or more colonies. This might blow your mind. This is where I just get the biggest laugh. All right. The 13 original 13 colonies. The first one was Virginia, the state we're in now. Oh, something so interesting about Virginia. 1607. Massachusetts. 1620. Not yet. Christmas addicts. That hasn't happened yet. But number 3, New Hampshire. 1623. Number 4, New Yorkshire. 1625. And then 1664. I love when they have 2 dates. Did it count from 1625? Okay. So I try to just read just the first dates. I think that's the only one that kind of gets a little iffy. With this New York, everything else, New Hampshire, New York, it's like spread. Then we get to Maryland, 1632. We have proof, we have evidence, we have descriptions, we have land, we have paintings, we have portraits, we have drawings. Connecticut, 1636, Rhode Island, 1636, Delaware, 1636. A lot of them, oh yeah, a lot was going on in 1636. Delaware, 1638. North Carolina, 1663. New Jersey, 1664. This is South Carolina. When did it start splitting up? What is this? And then they start splitting up the Carolinas. 1664. Pennsylvania, 1681, and then Georgia. I mean, it was relatively just holding down this 12, and then here comes this 13 in Georgia. It's just been a bane in the fucking existence. So I'll be sharing information. Hopefully we can get this audio going. For those that stayed with the broadcast, you're so fun. Thank you so much. Let's see. Here's the information. Yeah, we got to get through it. Princess Anne County. All right, there's some names for people that want to cross-reference. They even give streets. You can do this research on your own. We found here even maybe they changed the name of the streets. We found a Queen Street. Uh-oh. Charlotte, we found Charlotte Street. That should be fun. Look, the Freemason Street. Little Water Street in vicinity. Nice, nice. They had a Commerce Street. You should check out some of these. These things are archived. They're well preserved. You wouldn't believe it. You think these are all gone away and they're well preserved. Main Street. Like I said, Powhatan Street. Then we get on down the road. And we're still in Virginia. And I think that's it. I think we're pretty much done. And so, like, this whole thing that there was just only so many people, you better get to know. This is a lot of information, and your family could be there. So, good luck. Happy hunting and searching, because reparations is on the table. Sussex County. We still have this. You'll see quite a few times a Sussex County. The Duchess of Sussex. Look, I like this one. This one gets, because there's wars in these areas too. You with this Shenandoah County, whatever y'all got going on over there. Woodstock County, Prince Edwards. It's like these names. Come on, take a look at the names. Westmoreland. Wow, we found more land. Westmoreland County. Spotsylvania County, Southampton, and then we, of course, coming over York County. So there's rolls that go back to like the 1100s. There's rolls that go back to the 1200, and these are people of deep carbon melanated brown descent. All right, all well accounted for. You just have to know their names, and I think we're at the end. We made it. We ended in Virginia. With getting on down to Westmoreland and Sussex, all the way down to York County. So many, and look at these names. All right, all these names. Here you go. Great. So you can maybe like take, understand how to read these things, get your family cross reference, get into the census. All right, I'll spend just a few more so you can kind of understand how this works. And yeah, good luck. You can go do your own work. I don't have to do this. I didn't have to do this at all. I feel like this is great for you in your life. So yeah, this has been fun. This is no name news you can use. Um, Great. So we needed to do this. It's been I didn't want to just put the information out there and not have any context. So you guys have been great. Thank you for joining. Look at it. So now it's all dark. It's all dark now. So enjoy your night. I'm gonna try to do something for real on Friday. So I put the information, and we had the ticker here. We had the ticker going. Let me read, make sure my ticker's. And you can just read the information there. So yes, this has been another edition of Melanated News you can use. Hopefully we get the sound going again, but we sometimes will add in some music. Sis Star Soldier Radio. I'm your lady, Lila Brown. So we did start out with some music from Kanye. You should listen to Jesus is Born album. It's so good. It's so good. So we talked about black men owning slaves in the 1830s, and then we go over to Kanye because he said slavery was a choice, and yes, and he just fumbled the generational bag, but he's giving it over to the whites for his beta male toxicity, not being able to sustain wealth, and then Georgia having some issues with voter rights. I want to share that. That's my story as well. That's a great way to for those that actually watch my broadcast all the way through, see it through, those that come back, check back in, those who are still here, great. So this is an important story that's happening right now, so I just wanted to share it. So I'm just sharing some of my news and information just to get some, insight. It's my family going on here. Yeah. This is fun. That was fun. So we went over to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. All this just frivolous stuff. It's just so voting rights are being challenged. So We'll get into that. I've been trying to share some information there. So we'll hopefully, get back business with that. I put the whole story on my site because, so y'all can have it. So yeah, these color codes and laws actually do make a difference. So yeah. So I'm just sharing out some news information. Yeah. Yeah. Fun. Great. All right, we got some. Yeah. So that's amazing. That's amazing. That's amazing. Wow. Okay. And yes, I got to meet Jamie Foxx. He honored my family. Too bad I couldn't get the audio because I would make it so good. So I'll just add it to my Insta. And yeah, I'm so excited. This is such a good story. Mm, I give it a round of applause. So yeah. So I'm just testing everything. I'm getting back into, so we have updates and everything. It's been a while since I've been on this broadcast. So I'm getting back to the swing. Oh yeah. Try that again. I'm still testing here. So let me test. Let me test. Let me test. Okay. Yeah, you heard that. Let's see. Look at this color. I love it. It's so crazy, these colors. So good. I think that was so good. Okay, we gotta really figure out this audio. Okay. So thank you for those that are just watching, that's chilling. All this is going up on YouTube. I think that was so good. Okay, we gotta really figure out this audio. Okay. Okay. You guys are so. Oh my gosh! Look at all these hearts I got, guys. You gave me so many hearts. I'm just now seeing it. Where's the comments? I don't know why they ain't let y'all coming through, but we're getting back to the swing of it. Let's get warmed up here. All right. All right. So. Mm. Hmm. Okay, what's going on? Okay, let's see. Does this work? Oh my gosh. My goodness. My gosh. Let's see if this works. We have liftoff! Now we have a broadcast. Now we just get started. Oh my gosh. I think we have liftoff. No way. Alright, I'm trying to get this. Just pay attention to the man, Tommy Wildcat here. Okay, let's check our shit here. Look at me blinded. Oh my gosh, it's like, it's so angelic. We're going to heaven. We're going to heaven.
Osio Nagad, Jennifer Lauren Dalwadal. Hello everyone, I'm Jennifer Lauren, Cherokee Nation citizen and host of OCO, Voices of the Cherokee People. Welcome to Chalagi, wherever we are. Today's episode is all about Cherokee citizens of Freedmen descent. As Cherokees were influenced by European settlers, some citizens of the Cherokee Nation bought, owned, and sold enslaved Africans as early as 1755. As the Cherokee Nation was forced from our homelands in the 1830s, Cherokees brought enslaved Africans with them to Indian Territory, and by 1861, Cherokee people held about 4,000 enslaved people. Finally, in 1866, the Cherokee Nation signed a treaty and promised to permanently end slavery and grant former slaves all the rights of native Cherokees. This same treaty that established Cherokee Nation in Oklahoma as a reservation also required freedmen to be given the same services as existing Cherokee citizens. Until now, the Cherokee Nation hadn't always lived up to those promises. On today's program, we will discuss this uncomfortable, complex piece of Cherokee history. We'll discuss the roles, interactions, and history between the freedmen, their descendants, and the Cherokee Nation. Here's what you'll see on today's show. First, we will hear from Principal Chief Chuck Hoskin Jr. His address will be followed by a short documentary where we learn more about the revolt of enslaved people in the Cherokee Nation in 1842.
Okay.
Then we will have a conversation about freedmen history with Chief Hoskin and Cherokee Nation Environmental Protection Commissioner Marilyn Vann. We will follow that up with a short video where we meet Deb Wheaton, a freedman descendant who spoke with us about the many facets of her Cherokee and cultural identity. Then Cherokee Nation History and Preservation Officer Catherine Gray will discuss the cultural contributions of Cherokee freedmen and their descendants to the nation, along with Shella Bolin, a descendant of the Bolin Springs freedmen community and employee of Cherokee Nation businesses. And finally, we will hear from Namarke Saeed, who will wrap up the show for us. We hope that you will stick around for all of these topics today. But before we begin, we want to let you know that everyone participating today in studio or remotely,
And then all that other stuff. So this is the report I really want y'all to see. All right. Yay! So I think we got something good going here. Great. Gotta figure out all this stuff and nights and LA nights. Yay! We can keep the broadcast going. It gets really dark. It's sunny LA. Yay! Okay, cool. Look. So check it. Check it. All right, so yeah, now that we have the sound going, we do want to talk about the Supreme Court. We do want to talk about stuff that's happening there. Whew. You gotta listen to your media, your people. I don't know what Kanye's on, but you should have.
The Cherokee Nation is acknowledging that it made a mistake in not extending citizenship rights to freedmen and their descendants until 2017, something its principal chief says should have been done 156 years ago under the Treaty of 1866. Kennedy Sepulveda, who reports on Native Affairs, joins us now with more on the long history that has culminated with an apology from Chuck Hoskin Jr. Kennedy.
That's right, Rich. And nearly 12,000 freedmen descendants have enrolled in the Cherokee Nation in the last 5 years. But just this month, the Cherokee National History Museum in Tahlequah, Oklahoma, unveiled a new exhibit that honors freedmen and shares their story.
We have to recognize that there were times that we imposed trauma on others.
Chuck Hoskin Jr., Principal Chief of the Cherokee Nation, says the tribe is facing its history by embracing the spirit of equality.
And I think any nation is a stronger nation if they tell the whole of their story, the tragedy, the triumph, and the chapters that are dark and difficult. And I hope people come here and, first of all, understand that that happened. But I also hope they come away with some hope that we're in a new era in which, yes, we're recognizing that history, but we're also working towards collective healing.
The new exhibit details slavery and emancipation on the Cherokee Reservation, details of the Treaty of 1866, the vote that relinquished Cherokee freedmen's citizenship, and the fight to reestablish those rights.
The most compelling part of this exhibit is the stories that were submitted by the Cherokee freedmen community that are a large-scale installation of those community voices that tell the story that have not been told for more than a century.
My mother worked extremely hard for the rights of her children, her family, all of us. And so I must say, I'm thankful. I'm thankful that we've moved forward, and I am proud to say I am Cherokee.
The Cherokee Nation, along with the Chickasaw, Choctaw, Seminole, and Muskogee Creek Nations, signed treaties in 1866 that abolished slavery in the tribes and granted full citizenship to freedmen. Article 9 of the Treaty of 1866, signed by the Cherokee Nation, states all freedmen and their descendants shall have all rights of native Cherokees. However, in 2007, the Cherokee people voted to define citizenship as by blood, which cost 2,800 freedmen their tribal citizenship. Cherokee Nation reversed that decision in 2017, and the Cherokee Nation Supreme Court ruled to remove by blood from the Constitution in 2021.
We are going to hold the United States accountable for every part of every treaty that we have. We can't do it if we refuse to or deny the existence of provisions in the treaties that say, for example, we must give freedmen and their descendants all the rights of native Cherokees.
The Seminole Nation also kept the long-standing promise to the Seminole freedmen, but 3 of the 5 tribes did not keep their promise from their 1866 treaties. The Chickasaw Nation Senior Counsel Stephen Greetham sent a statement that reads, "Few things are more sensitive than a tribe's right to determine its own citizenship. As to the 5 tribes, each of us have our own treaties and legal history. The citizenship status of freedmen under Chickasaw Nation treaties with the United States was long ago litigated, and the U.S. Supreme Court held in 1904 that our treaties and laws neither vested freedmen with citizenship nor obligated the nation to extend citizenship. The Supreme Court concluded that, quote, the Chickasaw freedmen are not members of that tribe within the meaning of the provisions of the agreement submitting the amended agreement to a vote of the male members of the tribe qualified to vote under tribal law." In 2021, Principal Chief of the Choctaw Nation, Gary Batten, sent an open letter expressing willingness to consider extending citizenship rights to Choctaw freedmen. The letter ended with, quote, "Today we reach out to the Choctaw freedmen. We see you. We hear you. We look forward to meaningful conversation regarding our shared past."
We're responding to something that we thought was sincere, and we're hoping that it was not just an empty gesture, but one must also reflect what was going on a year ago. A year ago, there was revisiting of the Nahasta Bill, which is the Native American Housing Bill, that was being reviewed. Congressman Waters became aware of the plight of freedmen in Indian Territory. And so, wait a minute now. Then maybe we should put a clause in there.
Nothing ever came from that open letter. Principal Chief Batten sent a statement that reads in part, "Tribal membership for freedmen is a sensitive and complex topic. Over the past year, our leadership has respectfully taken time to consider this issue, and we have asked for feedback. We proactively received messages from very few people, so we also asked about the topic in our annual membership survey. The response has been overwhelmingly clear. While our members have sympathy for people whose ancestors were enslaved, they also understand the importance of having clear definitions of who is eligible for membership in our tribe."
They were fathered by Indian men and enslaved women. But of course, the policy was that, well, we follow the mother, the status of the mother.
Muskogee Creek Nation also expressed openness to consider expanding their citizenship rights to freedmen in 2021. However, those rights never came. Principal Chief David Hill sent a statement that reads in part, "And as a nation that has endured policies intended to exterminate us because we are Creek Indians by blood, the idea of granting citizenship to any non-Creek person is one that engenders deep, conflicting emotions. Quite frankly, our citizens stand on both sides of this issue, but the solution to this is not another colonial intervention by the United States."
Unfortunately, I think a sentiment that maybe comes maybe from the tribal sector, that there's this alien people trying to force themselves in our community, but we were already there. We arrived in the 1830s with them.
The Cherokee Nation is hosting a reception to celebrate the opening of the new exhibit. The celebration is planned for 2 p.m. this Saturday on the northwest lawn of the Cherokee National History Museum.
So, my counter is that those people that were enslaving people and using the United States, they were the United States. And they're saying the United States can't tell us what to do. It's like, you are the United States. It's so weird. So that's why that shit is not gonna be able to stand. Kudos to Maxine Waters stepping in. And she said something ain't right. So the Indians are treated a certain way, and they are showing how the United States treat the Indians. It's like, we're Indians, we're taking your identity, and you are nothing. And you're black African slaves, and you're not by blood. So they make them sign things and say things that they're not by blood, and then that's the freedman status. That's the contract. That's the treaties. So yeah, Black Lives Matter. Black lives indeed matter. We got so many more stories. So I'm gonna do my broadcast for sure. That was just a preview of what's to come. We have a lot of Cherokee Freedmen stuff to first discuss, but it's pretty lengthy. So I'm glad we got through the. And I promised I would give the information resource. So people are like, that's not true. I want to see it. If you want to get this work for yourself. And we cite our works here. We attribute our sources. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Great. Great. So again, free Negro owners of slaves in the United States in 1830. The author, the research department of the Association for the Study of Negro Life and History. Source, the Journal of Negro History, January 1924, for calculating something that happened in 1830. Great. So we even got into it. We did a little bit of, here's some history on it. Information for you from the whole journal. And so it's always important to get into the methodology. And so here we actually do take time to check the methodology. Let's get into it. We try to give it some context, give it some story. People giving firsthand accounts. That's why Black-owned media matters. Great. So they give the age. They're talking about what total. That total thing was interesting. Total means the number of persons all right, total means the number of persons in the family together with all of the slaves. So we saw some really big numbers there, like 45 slaves, but 46 people in the family total. So 3 people, 46, 49, 40. So it's like, come on, do the math here. The total means the number of persons in the family all together with all of the slaves. This enables the student to figure out for himself, whoever's studying this, whether the slave holding was an act of exploitation or of benevolence. That should let you know. We have codes. The small number of slaves, however, does not always signify benevolence on the part of the owner. So again, for example, they had 24 slaves, like this person here. 24 slaves, 25, so one person over all these. Oh man, that's crazy. This is the household, for example, of P.T. Harris in Clark County, Alabama. That's again an example. Chastain, there's a Chastain family. City of Mobile, got some. So I'm so happy we were able to do that today. Yay, we did it. Another good broadcast. It was perfect. Perfect. Okay, that was fun. That was fun. So I don't have to do that anymore. I did it on Clubhouse. I did it on Facebook. This is going to YouTube. Mark it. Do your own research. And we're out. Signing off. Thank you. Good night.